The winner of American Idol is Jamal Roberts.
Imagine the sharp blast of a gym whistle still hanging from his neck, the very moment the American Idol spotlights ignite within a heartbeat. Jamal Roberts, a 27-year-old PE teacher from Meridian, Mississippi, rockets from corralling grade school dodgeball games to shattering the show's record with a jaw-dropping 26 million finale votes. One hand now clutches a $250,000 check and a Hollywood Records contract, the other grips the same microphone that just rewrote TV history. How does a man raised amid crime-shadowed streets and Sunday morning hymnals vault into a life of gated mansions, seven-figure streaming deals, and garage doors that open onto both electric torque and classic muscle? Today we're cracking open Jamal's twin realities, where chalk dust gym floors meet marble foyers, where childhood choir solos blossom into genre-bending chart coups, and where every no he ever heard forged the iron will that powers his unthinkable rise. Stay locked in, because this isn't just another rags-to-riches fairy tale, it's a playbook on faith-fueled perseverance, family-first priorities, and the luxuries hiding behind those Hollywood Hills security codes. By the time you witness how Jamal spun whistle blows into platinum vocals, you may find yourself questioning the limits you've accepted for your own dreams, so keep that curiosity cranked up, because the tour of triumph, backlash, and brilliant reinvention starts right now. The story truly ignites on the cracked sidewalks of Meridian, Mississippi, where the sirens of a struggling city couldn't drown out a toddler's first halting notes of "My Girl." Born on November 6, 1997, Jamal grew up in a neighborhood where porch lights became warning beacons after sunset, and whispered gossip about last night gunfire traveled quicker than the morning church bells. Yet every Sunday he traded sirens for cymbals, squeezed between towering pews as his bishop grandfather nudged him forward to sing, for here, faith wasn't a ritual, it was armor. The choir loft doubled as a boot camp. Before he could spell hallelujah, he could switch from tenor harmonies to a drum solo without missing a beat, and the congregation learned to hush when that tiny voice surfaced. Those hymnals planted discipline, but adversity taught strategy. Classmates his age practiced jump shots. He practiced dodging stray bullets on the walk home, memorizing which streets felt safe only in daylight. When teenage ambition pushed him toward American Idol, the judge's gentle comeback "when you're older" stung like Mississippi heat, yet he pocketed that rejection like a gym coach pockets a stopwatch. Proof the race wasn't over, only delayed. A year later he returned with just one rehearsed song and froze when they demanded another, but even that fumble became kindling. Each no was a G-clef tattooed on his resolve, marking every lesson learned in blood and quarter notes. At home, his grandmother, a soft-spoken deacon with iron in her gaze, reminded him that even David tuned his harp before facing Goliath, so he kept tuning, kept hustling, kept believing that talent sharpened by struggle could slice through any barricade. The result was a voice soaked in gospel grit and street corner realism, a sound that promised salvation and survival in the same breath. But the quiet sanctity of stained glass mornings was only the opening act, because the world beyond Meridian was about to throw him onto a stage where one wrong note could shatter the dream forever, and that crucible would reveal just how unbreakable his spirit had become. A decade after that first bruising comeback later, Jamal's highway to idol glory stretched out like a southern interstate, flat in places, scorching hot, and littered with blown tires from dreamers who stalled. He steered forward anyway. In 2020, with a pandemic closing church doors and concert halls alike, he logged into Sunday Best, a televised gospel showdown that normally crowned choirs in packed sanctuaries but now streamed to living rooms through glitchy Wi-Fi. Jamal belted "Oh, How I Love Jesus" into a laptop camera balanced on textbooks, and viewers felt the hymn crackle through their screens like static-kissed vinyl. Judges ranked him top 3, but the real prize was thicker skin. He learned to tackle criticism with the calm of a PE reverse breaking up a dodgeball brawl. Keep the pulse steady, whistle only if necessary, then reset the play. Off-camera he moonlighted at Crestwood Elementary, sprinting from lesson plans to late-night jam sessions, recording demos on bargain bin equipment, while his daughters colored pictures beside the mic stand. By 2025, 2 almosts behind him, he ambled into his third American Idol audition, wearing a burgundy corduroy jacket he'd thrifted for $6 and tailored by hand, because a teacher's salary stretches only so far, and lit up the room with Rick James's Mary Jane. The bass line swaggered, judges' jaws dropped, and Carrie Underwood shot Luke Bryan, the kind of wide-eyed glance fans would replay in slow-motion memes for weeks. They demanded variety, so Jamal slid into a gospel riff, then pivoted to a country twang, and finally topped it with a Motown falsetto so sweet, Lionel Richie called it divinely guided. The golden ticket felt cooler than any Mississippi evening breeze, yet he treated it like just another quarter in his pocket, valuable, but worthless if not spent wisely. Hollywood Week became a crucible. He wove Chris Stapleton's Tennessee Whiskey with Disney heroics on Go the Distance, proving that genre lines can dissolve when poured over enough soul. Backstage, seasoned contestants whispered that versatility kills nerves. Jamal answered by swapping tempos the way his daughters swap crayons mid-sketch, fearlessly, joyfully, and always adding a brighter shade. Every rehearsal was a sprint and a sermon. Push the diaphragm like a defender on the court, drop to one knee when the spirit hits, then spring up ready for encore. Viewers sensed the marathoner beneath the spotlight, the man who'd logged years of spiritual push-ups in church choirs and virtual contests, and they started betting quietly at first, then loudly in comment sections that this Mississippi teacher might just burn the competition to ash. Little did they know, the furnace was only warming up, and the night of 26 million votes was racing toward him like thunder rolling over the Gulf. The night of May 18, 2025 wasn't just a television event, it was a cultural jolt, a reckoning, a seismic shift in the American Idol universe. And at the center stood Jamal Roberts, cool under pressure, trembling behind the eyes. As the lights bathed the stage in electric blue and confetti cannons primed their countdown, Jamal stood shoulder to shoulder with John Foster and Brianna Nix, each a titan in their own right. But the air crackled with something different when Jamal clutched the mic. From the opening notes of his original single, Heal, the atmosphere thickened, hushed, reverent. It wasn't just a performance, it was an exorcism of every doubt, every no, every storm he'd weathered from Meridian to Hollywood. Then came the duet with Jelly Roll, two voices braided together like gospel and gravel, delivering a soul-bearing rendition that practically lit the soundboard on fire. Audience members cried. Fantasia, the guest mentor, openly wept backstage. And as Ryan Seacrest leaned in with the envelope, the moment that decides careers, breaks hearts, and cements legacies, the crowd held its breath. With a record-breaking 26 million votes, he said, "America has chosen Jamal Roberts." The eruption was instantaneous, tsunami-like. Fireworks exploded, the judges jumped to their feet, and Jamal collapsed, hands shaking into the arms of Lionel Richie. Social media crashed under the avalanche of hashtags, Jamal Nation, Soul of America, History Made. He wasn't just the new champion, he was the first black male winner since Ruben Studdard 2 decades earlier, and the symbolism wasn't lost on anyone. Fans posted side-by-side photos of Ruben and Jamal, calling it a torch passed from velvet to fire. Backstage, producers scrambled to schedule morning show appearances, remix his single and finalize the surprise perks, including a week-long Disney cruise for his family. But even amid the post-victory roar, Jamal's response wasn't self-congratulatory. He looked directly into the camera, eyes glossy, and said, "This is for everyone who's ever been told they weren't ready." That one sentence echoed louder than the applause. The Idol stage, once too far, now fit him like church pews on Sunday, comfortable, sacred, and echoing with every footstep he'd taken to get there. And while the glitter rained and the cameras panned, one question floated above the fanfare like smoke from a victory candle. What would this PE teacher turned superstar do next, and how far would he take his new kingdom? Within hours of that confetti-soaked crowning moment, Jamal's world morphed from middle school gym whistles to million-dollar decisions, and the windfall wasn't just symbolic. The $250,000 cash prize dropped straight into his account, immediately transforming not just his lifestyle, but his entire financial future. Hollywood Records and 19 Recordings wasted no time locking in his debut album deal, bundling in professional studio time, marketing campaigns, and collaborations that once felt light years away. Streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Music saw his single Heal skyrocket into trending playlists, while YouTube clips of his finale duet with Jelly Roll racked up millions of views overnight. Jamal's follower count tripled within 48 hours, and brands began sliding into his DMs with endorsement offers ranging from fashion partnerships to wellness products. Morning talk shows queued for interviews. Good Morning America, The View, and The Tonight Show all wanted their moment with the man America had just crowned. But behind the glitz, a quieter power was taking root, his financial muscle. He didn't waste a dime. Jamal hired a financial advisor within a week, reportedly turning down 3 flashy endorsement offers in favor of long-term brand alignment, showing a savvy few predicted from someone new to fame. He opened education trust funds for all 3 daughters, making sure their futures were secured long before his first tour dates dropped. And then came the purchases that ignited whispers and Reddit threads alike. Real estate scouts spotted him touring mansions in Meridian, Los Angeles, and Nashville. Paparazzi captured him stepping out of a Tesla showroom and test driving a Cadillac Escalade. A leaked Instagram story, since deleted, briefly showed the glint of a diamond-encrusted watch, a gift from a mystery music executive. Suddenly, headlines shifted from "Who is Jamal Roberts?" to "Jamal's empire in the making." The meteoric rise wasn't just vocal, it was strategic, calculated, and executed with the same discipline he once brought to dodgeball drills and church rehearsals. And while fans debated which city he'd call home base, Jamal himself remained characteristically grounded. In a brief post-win interview, he smiled and said, "This money is a tool, it's not the reward. The reward is that I'm free now to build something lasting." With freedom in hand and luxury beckoning from every direction, Jamal's next moves would be anything but ordinary, and the first glimpse of his transformed life would begin where it all started: Meridian. For most superstars, the instinct is to flee their hometowns for coastal mansions and celebrity enclaves, but Jamal Roberts made a different kind of move. He doubled down on Meridian, Mississippi. The same city that once rang with sirens and swallowed dreams now cradles his crown jewel, a sprawling $1.4 million Southern-style mansion nestled inside a gated enclave just outside downtown. To outsiders, it might look like a luxury flex, but for Jamal, it's a love letter to his roots, a fortress where the echoes of his past meet the comfort of his present. Pull up to the estate and you're greeted by a cobblestone driveway wrapped in magnolia trees, leading to a stately brick home with tall white columns and a wraparound porch designed for sipping sweet tea and watching dusk settle like a lullaby. It's Southern elegance, but make it superstar. Inside, a two-story foyer dazzles with a crystal chandelier, polished hardwood floors, and the kind of grandeur that says, "I made it," without ever needing to scream. The open-concept living room is drenched in natural light from floor-to-ceiling windows, a space equally made for family movie nights and spontaneous jam sessions. Plush sectionals face a custom stone fireplace, while Disney movie posters, tributes to his idol Go the Distance performance, dot the walls, hand-picked by Harmony and Lyric. Adjacent, a dining area with a mahogany table for 12 glows under pendant lighting, ready for every celebration to come, from birthday parties to platinum record plaques. The kitchen is pure chef's fantasy. Marble countertops, a sub-zero fridge, and a massive island built for Sunday pancakes and midnight brainstorming sessions. There's even a walk-in pantry overflowing with snacks stocked specifically for 3 little girls with big appetites and bedtime story demands. The master suite sprawls over 800 square feet, complete with a private balcony overlooking the manicured backyard, a sitting area with a fireplace, and an ensuite bathroom that feels like a spa retreat: soaking tub, rainfall shower, and dual vanities framed in gold. Outside, the real magic unfolds: a turquoise in-ground pool with a waterfall feature, a shaded pergola ideal for family barbecues, and a playground with swings and a slide that Jamal installed himself. There's even a fire pit encircled by Adirondack chairs, perfect for s'mores and acoustic sing-alongs beneath Mississippi stars. The entire property is fenced, secured, and surrounded by serenity, a far cry from the chaos of his old neighborhood. And yet, for all its glamour, the mansion remains grounded, echoing with gospel melodies and the laughter of his daughters. In Meridian, Jamal isn't just a hometown hero, he's a symbol of what's possible. And this house, it's not just a place to live, it's a statement that you can come from broken streets, plant your flag, and turn the soil beneath your feet into solid gold. But Jamal's life isn't confined to one zip code, because where one mansion grounds him, another catapults him into the glimmering chaos of celebrity on the West Coast. High above the tangled arteries of Los Angeles, where fame flickers from every billboard and ambition hums louder than traffic, Jamal Roberts carved out his second sanctuary, a $2.8 million modern retreat nestled in the Hollywood Hills, overlooking the city that once seemed light years away. This isn't just a house, it's a statement of arrival. With clean lines, floor-to-ceiling glass walls, and a driveway that snakes up the hillside like a private red carpet, the home mirrors Jamal's ascent, sleek, bold, and unmistakably elevated. Step inside and the foyer greets you with a floating staircase under a minimalist chandelier, while polished concrete floors lead to an open living space that practically begs for studio after-parties and songwriting marathons. 20-foot ceilings stretch skyward, drawing in sunlight by day and city glow by night, with retractable glass walls that open to a panoramic view of the LA skyline. The indoor-outdoor flow is seamless, just like Jamal's genre shifts, with a shimmering infinity pool melting into the horizon, its surface often reflecting the lavender haze of California sunsets. Inside, the living room pulses with quiet luxury, low-profile sofas, abstract wall art curated by a local black artist collective, and a sleek gas fireplace anchoring the room. A built-in surround system hums softly in the background, always ready to blast demos or classics depending on the vibe. The adjacent kitchen is a study in design and indulgence. Black quartz countertops, a Viking range, wine fridge, and a waterfall island where Jamal often parks with a notebook and a cup of espresso, jotting lyrics as his team finalizes session schedules. Upstairs, the master suite spans over 1,000 square feet and exudes five-star serenity. Egyptian cotton linens on a king-sized bed, a reading nook with velvet armchairs and sliding doors opening to a private balcony with a postcard-perfect view of the Hollywood sign. The ensuite bathroom rivals any luxury spa, complete with a freestanding soaking tub, a chromotherapy steam shower, and matte black fixtures that glow under ambient lighting. But the space isn't just for solitude, it's designed for connection. One bedroom is a shrine to fatherhood, decorated in bright murals and bunk beds for harmony and lyric, while a crib stands ready for baby Gianna. Another room functions as a guest suite for visiting artists, and a third has been transformed into a creative command center. Desk, digital piano, mood board, and shelves lined with awards, gospel vinyls, and photos from his idol journey. Outside, a rooftop terrace with a hot tub and 360-degree city views serves as his creative recharge zone, a place to sip wine, host fire pit jam sessions, or simply breathe above the noise. Lush landscaping softens the architectural edges, adding bursts of nature to this glass and steel haven. In this home, Jamal is both artist and architect of his destiny, high above the noise but never detached from purpose. Hollywood might demand glamour, but Jamal redefines it here with soul subtlety and a skyline that now bends in his favor. And while LA feeds the star in him, there's another city that fuels the music, and it lies waiting just east in the heart of Tennessee. Just a few blocks from Nashville's neon-lit honky-tonks and hallowed recording studios, Jamal Roberts laid claim to his third crown jewel, a $1.1 million luxury condo in the heart of the Gulch, the city's trendiest neighborhood and unofficial nerve center of modern country, gospel, and soul. Here, surrounded by the rhythm of Music City, Jamal isn't just a resident, he's a strategic player on the board, placing himself steps away from the very venues and collaborators that could shape the next decade of his career. From the outside, the building is all glass, steel, and intention. A sleek high-rise with floor-to-ceiling views of downtown and the AT&T building's signature Batman spire cutting through the skyline. A private elevator whisks Jamal to his 2,500-square-foot corner unit, where exposed brick walls and polished concrete floors meet 12-foot ceilings and panoramic windows. Inside, the vibe is pure industrial chic, equal parts stylish and grounded, much like Jamal himself. The living room anchors the space with a modular sofa big enough to host co-writers and family alike, a reclaimed wood coffee table, and a sleek fireplace under a wall-mounted TV. One wall is dedicated to memorabilia, his American Idol trophy, framed sheet music from Heel, and a signed guitar from Jelly Roll rest on floating shelves like museum pieces of a meteoric rise. The gourmet kitchen is an artist's dream. Slate gray cabinetry, quartz countertops, and a center island that doubles as a brainstorming zone. A double oven waits to bake southern comfort food after late-night studio sessions, while a built-in wine fridge and custom coffee bar suggest that even downtime in Jamal's world is tastefully curated. The master suite is a sanctuary of quiet after the noise of performance life, a king-sized bed, blackout curtains, and a balcony that offers a front-row seat to the Nashville sunrise. The bathroom feels lifted from a boutique spa, with a deep soaking tub, rainfall shower, and LED-lit mirrors that make every early morning interview prep feel a little more cinematic. The other two bedrooms serve dual purposes. One is a guest suite prepped for visiting artists or family, the other is a flex space, sometimes a songwriting den, sometimes a retreat for his daughters when they're in town. Downstairs, the building offers amenities befitting a rising icon. A rooftop pool deck with cabanas and bar service, a 24/7 fitness center equipped with Pelotons and yoga rooms, and a private screening theater perfect for album previews or video releases. In the resident lounge, Jamal has reportedly been seen shooting pool and talking shop with other creatives, blending seamlessly into Nashville's culture of collaboration. Here, he's not a celebrity on a hill, he's a craftsman in the heart of the workshop. And while the Hollywood mansion may dazzle and Meridian keeps him grounded, this condo serves as the engine room, where ideas turn into tracks, collaborations into hits, and quiet balcony reflections into songs that touch millions. But as much as this place powers his career, there's one part of his life that grounds him even deeper. Rolling not on marble floors or behind studio glass, but along open highways with chrome horsepower and a story told in every mile. Fame may shine from mansions and gold records, but Jamal Roberts' soul rides shotgun in the vehicles that carry him between worlds, between Meridian's dusty roots, Hollywood's glimmering peaks, and Nashville's creative grind. His car collection, though relatively private, tells its own story. A trio of rides as intentional and multifaceted as the man himself. First, there's the 2025 Cadillac Escalade, a full-size luxury SUV priced around $95,000 and built for more than just curb appeal. It's his family's rolling fortress. Outfitted with plush leather seating, rear seat entertainment systems, and a 38-inch OLED dashboard that looks more spaceship than streetcar, the Escalade is Jamal's nod to comfort and functionality. It's how he gets Harmony, Lyric, and baby Gianna from school runs in Mississippi to studio stops in Nashville, all while cocooned in luxury and safety. But when the road calls for flash, Jamal answers with precision. Enter the Tesla Model S Plaid, a $130,000 all-electric rocket that jumps from 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds. Sleek, silent, and unapologetically modern, this EV symbolizes Jamal's leap into cutting-edge stardom, a tech-forward reflection of an artist who merges gospel roots with futuristic production. Spotted leaving Paramount Studios in LA. Behind the wheel, Jamal's Tesla isn't just a ride, it's a mission statement. Clean, fast, and impossible to ignore. But perhaps the most personal piece in his garage is the 1969 Ford Mustang Mach 1, a restored classic worth about $75,000, drenched in candy apple red with polished chrome rims and a V8 growl that echoes down rural backroads like an old soul humming spirituals. This car isn't for paparazzi lenses or industry showboating. It's for Saturday drives through Meridian's outskirts where he can blast the Temptations or Sam Cooke with the windows down and the wind reminding him who he's always been. Parked side by side, these cars sketch out Jamal's dualities, father and performer, old school and innovation, grit and polish. There are whispers of a fourth vehicle, a matte black Porsche Cayenne Turbo reserved for red carpets and label galas, but Jamal's team neither confirms nor denies. What's certain is that each vehicle isn't just a means of transport, they're time machines, mood boards, declarations. Whether ferrying his daughters to ballet class or cruising into a studio session with Grammy hopefuls, Jamal's wheels are built not for show but for purpose. And behind every steering wheel there's a man who knows exactly where he's going, because the only thing more powerful than the engines under those hoods is the force of the legacy he's driving toward. Yet behind every roaring engine and thundering applause lies a quieter, deeper rhythm, the heartbeat of a father, a protector, and a man navigating fame without losing sight of home. Beneath the roar of applause and the sheen of luxury lies Jamal Roberts' most intimate role, one not played out on a stage or captured by camera flashes, but lived quietly between lullabies, early morning pancakes, and whispered prayers at bedtime. Fatherhood. His heart, as he often says, doesn't reside in his platinum potential or the zeros on his bank statements. It lives in 3 small girls with names that sing like song lyrics themselves: Harmony, age 6, Lyric, age 4, and newborn Gianna Grace, who arrived just days before his American Idol Top 8 performance in April 2025. Each name a tribute to music, to faith, to the story he's still writing. In interviews, Jamal beams when speaking of his daughters, his voice softening, his cadence slowing, as though time itself bends around their presence. "They are my world," he told Parade. "The reason I'm working this hard, the reason I didn't quit." It was Harmony and Lyric who clung to his waist during his golden ticket win, who danced in the aisles during his live shows, who screamed the loudest when his name was called as the winner. But for all the heartwarming imagery, Jamal's personal life hasn't been free of scrutiny. Rumors swirl about his relationship status. Some say he's married to longtime partner Shabrina Mitchell in a private union away from the spotlight. Others believe he's a single father co-parenting peacefully. Jamal has declined to clarify, and in doing so maintains control over the one part of his life not up for public consumption. Online critics haven't been as respectful. When Wealthy Spy ran a profile on Jamal's win, some commenters aimed low, throwing shade over the fact that his children were born out of wedlock. One harsh remark read, "Having kids out of wedlock doesn't make you anointed." But Jamal, ever composed, addressed the noise with quiet fire. "Being a dad is the best thing that's ever happened to me," he said in a live stream days after the finale. "The rest, that's between me and God." He let the music and the love radiating from his family do the talking. When baby Gianna was born, he didn't even share the news publicly at first. He channeled the emotion into his Idol performances, later revealing, "It was too personal, too sacred. But she's here, healthy, beautiful." His Scorpio nature, passionate, private, protective, shines in moments like these. Every dollar earned, every mile flown, every note sung carries a quiet subtext: make their future brighter than mine ever was. And while headlines talk of real estate and record deals, Jamal's inner circle knows the truth. His greatest title isn't Idol winner or superstar, it's dad. Still, he hasn't forgotten where that sense of responsibility was born, or the community that raised him, molded him, and now looks to him as a symbol of what's possible. And so, while the lights of fame burn bright, Jamal's next chapter begins not with more accolades but with a mission to give back to the town that gave him his first stage. Long before he ever sang on national television, Jamal Roberts walked the cracked pavement of Meridian, Mississippi, not as a celebrity but as Coach Roberts, the beloved physical education teacher at Crestwood Elementary School, whistling commands, high-fiving kids after relay races, and occasionally breaking into song during morning warm-ups. Even now, with a recording contract inked and a net worth steadily climbing, Jamal hasn't severed that connection. Instead, he's doubled down on his roots, becoming a symbol of hope in a town long overshadowed by economic hardship and crime. Just days before the American Idol finale, the city of Meridian held a homecoming parade in his honor, where thousands lined the downtown streets holding signs that read "Jamal for President" and "From our halls to Hollywood." It wasn't just about a TV win, it was about reclaiming pride in a place that had seen more headlines about violence than victory. Jamal rode through the crowd on a float adorned with school sports jerseys and choir robes, waving to former students, teachers, and neighbors who remembered him not as a celebrity, but as the boy who sang solos in Sunday school and tutored kids in math after gym class. In interviews following his win, Jamal was clear: he wasn't leaving Meridian behind. "This is where I grew up," he said. "It can be a whole lot better than it is, and I want to be part of that." True to his word, he's already begun partnering with local nonprofits to support youth programs, pledging to renovate Crestwood's gymnasium and fund music education initiatives for underfunded schools. He's spoken candidly about using his platform to shine light on systemic issues plaguing his hometown, including gun violence, food insecurity, and failing infrastructure. Community leaders describe him as a walking miracle, someone who not only escaped the cycle, but came back spinning opportunity for others. On weekends, when he's not in LA or Nashville, Jamal's often spotted back at his old school, dropping off supplies, leading choir rehearsals, or just playing dodgeball with kids who now know their coach is a national icon. He refuses to be a distant inspiration. Instead, he's an active participant, showing up with the same quiet intensity he once brought to Idol rehearsals. And while media outlets gush over his stage presence and streaming numbers, those in Meridian know the deeper truth, that Jamal's most important performance isn't in front of cameras but in classrooms, gym floors, and neighborhood barbershops where hope had once dimmed. His story isn't just about making it out, it's about reaching back. And as his music begins echoing in arenas and playlists around the world, it's the reverberations in Meridian that may ultimately define his legacy. Yet even as he pours into his community, the spotlight calls, and Jamal is now poised to turn his moment into a movement that spans continents, genres, and generations. From pew-side solos in a Mississippi church to commanding the world's biggest stage with 26 million voices behind him, Jamal Roberts has proven that some dreams aren't just chased, they're built, note by note, prayer by prayer, and rejection by rejection. His journey isn't a straight line, but a symphony of struggle, faith, and fire, composed across gymnasiums, gospel competitions, and Hollywood lights, with a $250,000 prize fueling his next moves, 3 stunning properties anchoring him across America's creative capitals, and a net worth already brushing $600,000 and rising. Jamal has transcended the Idol winner label. He's a father who shields his children from chaos with tenderness and integrity. A teacher turned icon who returned to his hometown, not to flaunt success but to plant it, nourish it, and pass it on. A genre-defying artist who flips between soul, gospel, country, and pop, with the ease of a maestro conducting a storm. Yet for all the fame now orbiting him, it's Jamal's humility that continues to draw people in, the raw emotion he injects into every note, the quiet refusal to be molded by industry trends, and the steely resolve to make every step count, not just for himself but for everyone watching. His debut album is already stirring interest from heavyweight producers, and rumors swirl of a national tour with dates expected to sell out within hours. Fans across the country and beyond are waiting to see whether his next move will be a Billboard-topping anthem, a heart-wrenching ballad, or another tear-soaked television moment that turns strangers into believers. But if Jamal's story has taught us anything, it's that the real magic doesn't just lie in the spotlight, it lies in what he does after it fades. Whether he's writing songs on a Nashville balcony, swimming with his daughters in his Meridian backyard, or slipping into his Tesla for a quiet LA studio session, Jamal is building something deeper than celebrity. He's crafting a legacy that fuses voice and vision, grit and grace, spotlight and silence. So what's next for America's new soul king? A chart-climbing single? A Grammy nomination? A sold-out world tour? Maybe, But the better question might be, what isn't possible now? Because when Jamal Roberts sings, it's not just melody, it's prophecy. And the world, it's still listening. The content presented in this video is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. While every effort has been made to ensure accuracy, some details, particularly regarding personal life, assets, and private matters, are based on public reports, interviews, and credible speculation at the time of publication. Certain elements, such as real estate descriptions and vehicle ownership, may include dramatized or inferred information intended to reflect Jamal Roberts' lifestyle as portrayed through media coverage and public appearances. We do not claim to have direct access to Jamal Roberts or his representatives, and we fully respect his right to privacy. All opinions expressed are those of the channel and are not intended to defame, mislead, or harm. Viewer discretion is advised when interpreting speculative elements. If you've been inspired by Jamal Roberts' incredible rise from a small-town PE teacher to a record-breaking American Idol champion with a lifestyle straight out of a dream, don't forget to show some love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the Celeb Insider, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a deep dive into the lives of today's most captivating stars. Got a favorite Jamal performance? A moment that gave you chills? Drop it in the comments below. We're reading them all. And if you're craving more behind-the-scenes looks into fame, family, and fortune, check out our other videos. We've got a whole lineup of stories that will leave you speechless. Until next time, remember, every spotlight starts with a spark. Keep chasing your own dreams, just like Jamal.